Hi, today's good person to know is Simon Keplin. He's a civil servant working as product content lead who manages a team of people who write, edit content and design how information should be presented on the gov.uk website. Simon's talk is on the government's approach to content strategy based on a research paper provided by Baroness Martha Lane Fox, where she said the government's digital information had to change. DirectGov and BusinessLink have now been replaced by the gov.uk site because it's far more friendlier, it's simpler, clearer and faster, saving the UK government £542 million. Simon says it's about giving users what they want when they interact with government departments. That combined, the DirectGov and BusinessLink has 75,000 pages between them, and now that's been condensed down to 3,000 pages because Simon and his team reviewed every piece of information and thought, what's the point of the content? Do people want it? Do people expect the departments to be responsible for producing that content? And can anyone else produce this content besides the government? So they stripped down the content and made it shorter and clearer by following an 80-20 rule. 80% of the information that the users wanted should be easily accessible and the 20% was via linked pages, but it still had to be available nonetheless. Simon gave a classic example of how departments and offices just did not work together. They gave different answers, full of jargon, and they were all incomplete answers, so nobody gave a single answer that could satisfy a user's needs. So now it's much more coherent, it's simpler, easier, and you get the answer that you're expecting when you do a search on the gov.uk website. Now this video is particularly relevant for anyone looking to see how they can condense large chunks of information into manageable portions so that users can really benefit from the information that you're providing. So I hope you enjoy this video and thank you for watching.
Our approach to content and content strategy. There are two main parts of the gov.uk website. The mainstream section, which deals with citizen and business-facing content, and the department and policy section, which deals with all the information that government departments want to put on gov.uk. Baroness Martha Lane Fox of Soho, she's the digital champion for government. And in November 2010, she produced a report which she called Revolution, Not Evolution, which basically said that government online services and information needed to change. And our aim from the very beginning was to produce content that was simpler, clearer and faster. That's the whole ethos of gov.uk. This is the first part of our design principles. You can see them on the web at gov.uk/design principles. We started with user needs. What do users actually really want to find when they're interacting with government? And that's something different to government deciding what they think users need to be told. So we looked at our existing content, and this came from 75,000 pages on DirectGov and BusinessLink. We read every page on the two sites and asked what the actual point to each piece of content was. So for every piece of content we looked at, we asked four main questions. What's the point of the content? Do people want it? And in order to prove that, we looked at search and traffic and data. And do people expect governments to be responsible for meeting this need? And finally, can only government meet this need? Or is there somebody else on the web doing it better already? And after looking at the needs, then we looked at the kind of formats, content formats we would use. So when we went through every page on the two sites, we entered all the information about a particular page in a database and recorded our decisions on each piece of content. The results of this process was to give us the information we needed to strip down our content. So, for example, on the DirectGov website, we had 5 750-word articles on the lasting power of attorney, and it was full of caveats and general advice. Today, we have one content item on gov.uk. It's shorter, clearer, and chunked into easily digestible sections. It keeps to the facts only. We kind of devised an 80-20 rule. We decided that the information that 80% of our users wanted should be up there, up front on the page. And if you were in the 20%, then the information was still there, and it was findable, but it wasn't up there, front and centre. And of the 75,000 pages I mentioned before, the 75,000 content items, we now only have 3,000. Although we've got fewer pages, it's clear that users like what they see on the site. There's this question. So the answer before GovUK existed wasn't as clear as it should have been. If you Googled government policy on Afghanistan, a whole load of website pages would have come up from a whole span of different government departments. And let's just look at some of them. First of all, you've got the Foreign Office, then the other Foreign Office, i.e. the website for the British Embassy in Kabul, Ministry of Defence, Department for International Development, number 10, the Stabilisation Unit. They're really important, but not many people know who they are. There's the Home Office, Cabinet Office, and finally the Deputy Prime Minister's Office. And unfortunately, you probably still wouldn't have the answer to your question. The information that was presented on those pages was full of jargon, incomplete information, different styles, and different presentation formats. And now that's different. You do have an answer to the question. It's one page, 3 tabs on GovUK. It's in plain English, active voice generally, and all the information you need from every single government department in one place about Afghanistan. The guide tells all content designers across governments about the style and tone of the whole of GovUK. We all know how users read on the web, and we know they don't actually read, they scan the web pages. Interacting with governments is about coming in, finding the bit of information you need, applying for the benefit you want to, and leaving the website. Through IT spend controls and moving government services across the digital platforms has saved the UK government £500 million. And closing down DirectGov and BusinessLink and opening up GovUK has saved £42 million.